Hey guys, welcome to the HoneyPod. This is your girl Courtney J, and I'm here to talk to you about black men and therapy. You guys really need it. Stay tuned. I can stick into it.
I'm spitting raw honey, got a lot to say. I'm dripping melanin and magic every single day. I ain't got no time for drama, I'm just trying to get my money. It's the podcast with Flawless Honey, with the sweetest honey around and the stickiest vibe. I'm buzzing through your Wi-Fi. Like, share, and subscribe. The Honey Pod. The Honey Pod. You think you ready for the Honey Pod?
There's a word in the English dictionary that starts with an S, and the definition is to intentionally take your own life. And for touchy reasons, I'm not allowed to say this word. But in 2017, a study was done, and it was discovered that black men committed this act at a rate 4 times greater than black women, and that's a major problem. Mental health is very important in our community, and for some reason, it's a stigma. We want to sweep it under the rug, and we want to pray about it. We always have to pray things away, but sometimes you can't do that. God gave us common sense. It was common sense to get some help. It's very important to get some help. Nothing wrong with it. You're not crazy. I'm careful to not call anyone crazy because there are power in words. There's power in the tongue. And you don't want to manipulate anyone's mind negatively by making them think there's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you. We are humans having an experience, having a natural experience. Yes, do we want things to be balanced in our lives? Of course we do. But sometimes imbalances happen and we need to figure out how we're going to bounce back. Some people know how to bounce back. Some people don't. In that case, therapy can really help. So black men, I'm talking to you because this video is about you, okay? So let's go all the way back to slavery when we were quote unquote captured, okay? Because that's another whole nother can of worms right there. But black men were emasculated. They were castrated, made an example out of. White men really did a number on us. They caused constant fear within our families, and they caused generational trauma. Just because we weren't born in slavery, that doesn't mean we don't experience generational trauma. You made sure you taught your kids, hey, obey massa, or you won't get in trouble, you won't get hurt. And when slaves were freed, you still feared the hand of God, white man's hand, if you will. You still feared him. And then those kids had children, and it trickled down. Obey the white man, obey. All that fear trickles down, it trickles down, trickles down, trickles down. My parents had me. They told me to obey. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. It's still that type of power, right? So we're still experiencing that. And then on top of that, we're going to school. We're going to the top-notch schools, Yale, Harvard, Howard. And we're not getting appropriate pay at these jobs. Our white counterparts, same credentials and everything, they're getting higher pay. That does something to us mentally, as if we're not good enough. We went through all the struggles of going to school, studying late night, making good grades, making sure we did double and beyond, and still not being appreciated. That does something to you mentally. And so black men, you may not think you have trauma because you think you wake up in the morning, you thank God, you put your clothes on and you go out the door and start your day. You thinking you don't have trauma, but you do. You just need to have someone tap into it. And it's okay. It's perfectly okay. You know what? Men respond to trauma different ways. Some men out here having multiple chicks, just searching for love, not taking care of their damn kids. Why? Because their father didn't take care of them. And so they're just creating the cycles instead of searching a way to fix it. I know a person right now. Cried on my shoulder when we were 23 years old, and he reminisced about how his father wasn't in his life. His father would tell him almost every week, yeah, I'll be there this weekend and come see you and come pick you up. And he would stand outside the window watching for his dad to come, and his dad never came. He cried on my shoulder when we were 23 years old. This was probably about 11 years ago. And what did he do? What did he turn around and do? When he had kids, he turned around and did the exact same thing. Did not take care of his kids, and don't take care of his kids. And some men may think, man, well, it's cool, man. You know, maybe it's good that my child's not in my life. Maybe. But most of the time, that's not okay. Our kids, we have too many kids out here without dads in the home, without dads raising them, without even seeing their dad. The dad don't necessarily need to be in the home. They just need to be in their life. And we have too many kids out here with no dads and no type of guidance. I'm a single mother. I can't do everything a man can show my son. I can't. I'm not a man. I am a woman. So I find myself trying to be extra aggressive with my son. But I'm finding out as he's getting older, I'm like, yeah, he needs to have a man around. Well, he has my father around, but you know, that's my dad. He's not supposed to be doing that. He raised his kids. He raised us. So sometimes I feel bad. Sometimes I feel like I failed my son. So it's very important to have therapy. And I told that person, I said, you know what? You need therapy. He told me, hell no, I ain't crazy. I don't need therapy. You might need therapy, but I don't need it. But you know what? At the time, I was going to a therapist. And I was trying to get over some things that I had dealt with in a past relationship. So I had asked him if he wanted to come to a therapy session just to see. And he got really mad. He felt like I thought that he was crazy. No, I didn't think he was crazy. But I feel like he needed some help. Especially if you're crying, reminiscing about how your father wasn't around. So, but that's just that one situation. There are many different reasons why mental health in black males is very high. The economic status. Childhood trauma. You know, that one example, the father not being around. Hell, you can have experience about your mama having a whole bunch of dudes walking back and forth in your house. I'm pretty sure some of you all can recount how many uncles you had. So stuff like that. And so that makes a man grow up and then try to dog women out or treat her real bad because he's associating those women with the behaviors his mother had done. So he's projecting certain behaviors onto those women, and it's not the women's fault. Genetics. A lot of us don't want to admit it. Mental illness can be genetic, and it runs in a lot of black families. And we don't want to think that, but at the same time, we also acknowledge that God doesn't make mistakes. But we don't want to acknowledge that certain illnesses run in certain families, and it's very true. So we always want to sweep it under the rug. Oh, let's not talk about it. Or we want to beat the kid at an early age to get it out of them. No, they need some help. And that's one thing we just didn't. We were very ignorant back in the day in our families. And some of us still very ignorant now. And ignorant is not a bad term. It just means you're just unaware. We were just unaware what was going on. We're unaware. It was a medical problem that help made it better. Back in the day, I'm gonna say like the 1950s, you know, men was working strenuous jobs at a factory and stuff, and a lot of them had housewives and stuff. Not me, baby. I'm not gonna be no housewife. I like to make my own cheddar, okay? But anyway, they came home to their families. But back then, and I mean back then, and it's still happening now, a lot of men had a lot of side families. They had a lot of babies and stuff. But you had that one woman that just stood by your side. Well, your wife had the woman stood by your side and just dealt with it. And then you put her through shit, having side families. You coming home, you got emasculated at work from your boss. That's another form of slavery. You know, so you're dealing with the same things your ancestors dealt with. So you coming home, bringing that shit home to your wife. You beating her, abusing your kids, and all that type of stuff. So I really wish there would have been an advocate for therapy for my grandfather and, you know, around that age back then, because there was a lot of generational trauma right there. I know there was a civil rights movement and things like that, but I mean, that was a lot of stuff going on back then. And that was 50 years ago, so it wasn't that long ago, and we still in the same boat. So, hey, let me tell you something. If you have a job, I suggest you look into programs that can help you. It's either EAP, Employee Assistance Program, or New Directions. And what this is, it pays for 6 free sessions to go to a therapist of your choice. And what that is, you can use those 6 free sessions to, you know, move around and find 6 therapists of your choice to see which therapist you vibe with. And after those 6 free sessions, if you think therapy helps you and you like to continue, then you can start using your insurance and start billing your insurance. But me, I'm an advocate for therapy. Licensed therapy. It's cool to tell Tamika and them down the street your business and stuff like that, but chances are they're not licensed, so they could care less. They can go tell your business down and spread it all around. Then all your, man, such crazy, woo, 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 woo. But a licensed therapist, they're licensed. They're bound to confidentiality. They're not going to tell your business. So I'm more apt to go to a therapist than tell anybody my business. Because you know what? You can't trust anyone with personal information. You may think you can trust somebody, but little do you know, people coming up to you like, hey girl, you okay? You okay? And you be like, damn, what you mean? Man, I was worried about you. Why were you worried about me? Then come to find out your damn business everywhere. Don't do that to yourself. I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to you. See, here's the thing. We don't hang around people who are for us. Yeah, we can talk to our friends. Y'all can talk to y'all guys. I can talk to my girls or whatever. But some of these people in your circle are not for you. They're in your corner so they can stay in your damn business. And that's another thing. Be around people who are really, really for your well-being. And it's okay if you want to talk to your homeboys. And hey, find some homeboys that will hold you accountable for shit. Like, hey dude, man, I got in an argument with my girl, man. I did this. You need to have some damn friends be like, hey, you wrong, you go apologize to your woman. And vice versa with women. But we don't have that. And that's a major problem too. See, we don't have positive role models anymore. Back then we had Malcolm. Back then we had Martin. But we really don't have positive role models anymore. Like the role models are dying. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. They are dying. And role models now are these trap singers. Da Baby, Lil Baby, Weezy Baby. We too damn busy listening to these babies. We ain't listening to no men anymore. We not listening to Boys to Men. We ain't listening to Sil. We ain't listening to Avant. We're not listening to Jodeci. I mean, those were men that cared if they woman left them. You know what I'm saying? And not to say it's all your fault. Like I said before, it's not all of you guys' fault. We black women have some blame to put on ourselves too, on how these men turned out. Some of us single women, single mothers, myself included, I feel like I failed my son. I didn't choose a good father for him. So now what I'm doing, in the process of doing, I'm in the process of finding him a black male therapist. So to get him, because he's about to be a teenager in the next few years. So I need to get his mind ready so he won't be passing that trauma on to someone else. And so he'll feel better about his life. So that's what I'm doing for my son. And I don't care what anybody say about it. But yeah, us black women, we have a lot to do with our black males having problems. A lot of black women nowadays, we got that independent thing going on. You know, F men, man. I'm trying to get my bag. Can no man get in this without making 6 figures and stuff like that? And men are actually listening to that, and they feel like they gotta reach that level to get with us. And when they can't, then they feel inadequate. And that is the wrong emotion for a black man to feel. A black man is naturally virile, courageous, strong. I mean, a black man is a black man. I mean, that word right there is just phenomenal. A black man. Just think of the power in that word. And sometimes we can emasculate our men verbally by just talking to them crazy. They're already going through a lot of shit out there. And then they coming home. Some of the black men don't even want to come home to you because you want to bitch all the time. We making it hard too. So sometimes we just need to step out of our masculine energy, because a lot of us in masculine energy all the time, because a lot of us are independent and we've gotten to the point to where we don't need a man. We think we don't need a man. And so we need to step more into our feminine energy and allow them to be a man, because a man who's with you and for you, they're going to want to do for you. But sometimes we just need to be encouraging to them. Hey babe, I know you trying. Here's some black eyed peas, fried chicken and cornbread, daddy. That's all they need. They just need some encouragement. And we're just not providing that for them. A lot of us aren't. We want to say we are, but a lot of us aren't. We can't be listening to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, you see what problems Cardi B's having. Her man keep cheating on her and shit. And Megan Thee Stallion, I mean, I don't want to get on her. Women, we need to start listening to Jasmine Sullivan again. Her, Janae Aiko. I mean, just listen to those romantic. Aaliyah, oh Lord, she's not here anymore. Erykah Badu, In Vogue. I mean, those artists. Whitney Houston, I mean, those artists. I mean, they don't make artists like that anymore. We need to start going back to the roots. Hey, have your young ladies listen to old shit, like R&B music. Not this music that's out right now, because it's not real music. It's not soulful. It's not soulful music. So, black women, encourage your black man. Tell your black sons, you are beautiful. You are brilliant. You are exquisite. You are enough. Black males need to hear that. Young black men need to hear that. Not just black women. Black males need to hear it too. Because we think we can tell black men anything because they're the stronger being, counterpart, which is true. But black males have an ego. And sometimes we can hurt that ego when we're talking to them crazy. And that does something to them mentally. Like we go through shit mentally. They go through the same shit. But it's more pressure on them because they're males. So if you don't want to stop talking to your man crazy, fuck him, let him go. And let him find a woman who's going to appreciate him no matter what he's doing, as long as he's trying. Let him go out and find that woman who's going to be with him and encourage him and support him in whatever struggles he's going through. Not to say we're not going through any struggles. We're going through struggles too. Black women are. A lot of y'all need therapy too. But I'm not going to get on us right now. Just encourage your black man. He needs it more than you think. Your black sons need it more than you think. Monitor the kids your children hang around. I know you can't shield them from everything, but it helps. Start talking to the parents of these kids your kids hang around. See where their mind is. A lot of us don't do that anymore. A lot of people aren't old school like that. I'm old school like that. I was raised by old school parents. I go and talk to the parents of the kids my son is hanging around. Because you need to know who's raising that kid and who they're learning from. See, that's another thing we don't think about. And so that can help. That's environmental factors right there. So you can that can help establish other things too. So if another boy is walking around sad all the time and doing this and that, that can project feelings onto your kid, and your kid might be feeling a certain way. Get your kids in therapy. Your black males, get them in therapy. Social media has done a number on us. Oh my goodness, there's so much cyberbullying going around. Like I can't even imagine being in high school. I'm sorry, school period, elementary, junior high, high school. I couldn't imagine being in school right now. Man, you have a fight with somebody and then your ass get beat up, and then come to find out somebody recording it, and then it's on social media, and that's embarrassing. Those rates have gone up, and cyberbullying has a lot to do with it. So watch your kids. Have a conversation with your kids. Black men, if you're watching this video and you think you don't need therapy after everything I've said, no, you still need therapy. You'll be surprised with 1 hour what the therapist can do. You will be surprised. There'll be some old stuff that will come out, and you'll probably end up being there for 2 more hours. And then you'll be thinking, dang, I need to go back. I have a lot of things that I need to talk about. I have unresolved issues. Everyone does, especially us. Especially us. Every black person needs to be scheduling an appointment to talk to a therapist. It's crazy. I told you the statistics of our black males committing certain acts against themselves. What more do you need? What more do you need? Mental health, PTSD, and trauma is so rampant in our community. As scared as black folks are of the cops, we're even more scared of therapists. As you grow, you realize the ridiculousness of the stigma attached to it. Jay-Z. See, Jay-Z understand about mental health. Why don't y'all? This is serious. We are already dying at a high rate. A lot of black people alone in 2020 ended their lives, y'all. It's a number of our black men in jail. And then they're dying out here in these streets. We need our black men. We need y'all. We love you. We desire you. We admire you. We need y'all around. And we most definitely need you around for our children. If you don't want to be around for yourself, be around for your children. Holla.